The city of Yokkaichi is located 400 kilometers to the southwest of Tokyo, with a population of roughly 300,000. Yokkaichi is blessed with a natural harbor, and from the latter half of the 1950s, petrochemical complexes located here supported the industrial development of Japan. However, in exchange for progress, the city began to suffer. Giant industrial complexes sprouted up one after another, and emissions started polluting the city. Sulfur oxides polluted the air, and waste products polluted the water. As a direct result, many residents of Yokkaichi began suffering from asthma. In 1967, local citizens went to court to prove the industry's responsibility for polluting the city's air. 5 years later, the citizens were victorious. The court case led to new moves by the government to solve the pollution problems. The living conditions in Yokkaichi became unbearable. As a result, various restrictions against pollutants were introduced. The government of the day played a leading role in establishing restrictions on total emissions, the first such restrictions in all of Japan. Until then, there were only restrictions on emissions from each plant, so even if strict restrictions were put in place, pollution continued to spread as the number of factories increased. The restrictions on total emissions limited the volume of pollutants emitted from the city as a whole. This proved effective, and pollution in Yokkaichi started to decline. There are monitoring stations in factories, on the streets, and in various other parts of the city, sending online pollution data to a central monitoring room. Any factory that violates standard levels will be ordered to comply or face heavy penalties. Companies worked hard to achieve restriction levels, spending massive amounts installing scrubbing equipment to remove sulfur oxides, which are the main cause of asthma. Today, the volume of sulfur oxide emissions has been reduced by 90% from the levels of 30 years ago. Now, smokestack emissions are mostly steam. Numerous technologies for the prevention of pollution, which were first used in this city, are now in place around Japan. 30 years of hard work has resulted in major reductions in the volume of pollutants. The citizens of Yokkaichi have organized their own efforts to clean up the public areas near their homes. Public awareness of the need to continually monitor the environment has resulted in the organization of over 20 groups dedicated to this cause.
Each person must find some small way to contribute. We all have a responsibility to keep Yokkaichi clean and beautiful.
The hard work of local residents has resulted in proud achievements. The spring water in this irrigation channel, which runs through the town, is recognized as one of the cleanest in Japan. The river has become a tourist spot, and children can hear lectures about the past to learn about the importance of environmental preservation. Elementary schools educate students on how to protect the environment. Today, students are recycling milk cartons to produce colored craft paper.
The children aren't just guests here on Earth, but have a duty to do their best to preserve the environment.
Conserving the environment starts at home. This housewife doesn't throw out her raw garbage as it is, but makes it into compost by adding microorganisms to speed up decomposition. She separates the rest of her garbage so it can be recycled. She's also careful to unplug any electric appliances that aren't in use to reduce demand from the nearby electric facility. Mr. Yoshiro Sawai has been monitoring the pollution in Yokkaichi for 40 years. He's currently compiling his personal records. He's trying to pass on to the next generation what he's seen with his own eyes, to make sure the tragedies of the past are not repeated. It's not easy to bring back nature that has been lost. To avoid new tragedies, it's important for citizens to raise their voices and face problems as soon as possible before any new victims occur. In 1990, the city established a centre for the education of pollution prevention. The International Centre for Environmental Technology Transfer provides training on how to reduce the existing spread of pollution and how to prevent environmental pollution in the future. 1,700 trainees from 37 nations are now putting into practice what they have learned. In 1995, the city was elected to the Global 500 Roll of Honour of the United Nations Environment Programme in recognition of its achievements in the protection and improvement of the environment. However, Yokkaichi residents must be made aware of future pollution problems. The name Yokkaichi used to be associated with pollution. Today, our goal is to create a city which is comfortable to live in. A city where every resident is proud to say that they are from Yokkaichi. Yokkaichi, dealing simultaneously with economic development and environmental protection, has made great strides in conquering pollution to ensure a healthy environment for future generations.